Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at Everything You Need to Know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news market chatters building for a Fed rate pause. First up today, the American consumer inflation rate came in at 3.2% in July, almost exactly as expected, but higher than June. Base effects and rising rents were behind the uptick, and it marks a halt to the 12 consecutive months of declines. A year ago, they were reporting CPI inflation of 9.1%, so it's actually a huge progress from there and a solid tick for monetary policy positioning, especially as a year ago it was widely predicted the US would be in recession now, and obviously it isn't. US jobless claims rose by 20,000 last week to 226,000. That isn't a lot in such a large labour market, but it was more than anticipated. There are now 1.8 million people on these benefits, a decrease because qualifications expired faster than new claimants claimed. The US federal government deficit came in at $221 billion in July, and that was almost the same as it was in June, but it was expected to be about half that. Meanwhile, despite the widely publicised stumbles, it seems that overall the 6,500 American banks with a federal charter are in good financial shape. It is data that supports the regulator judgments. In Japan, producer prices are still rising, but at a slower rate. They rose 3.6% year-on-year in July, the least since March 2021, after an upwardly revised 4.3% rise in June, and compared with market expectations of 3.5%. In India, their central bank kept its policy rate at 6.5%, even though their hot economy is now generating rising inflation, although mainly driven by food prices. In Australia, inflation expectations there fell to 4.9% in August from 5.2% in July. And container shipping rates rose again last week, this time by another 1.7%, with increases across all major trade routes. But bulk cargo rates were unchanged last week at historically average levels. The US Treasury 10-year yield will start today at 4.09% and up 8 basis points from yesterday. And the price of gold will start today at $1,913 an ounce. That's down $2. And oil prices are down at 50 US cents at just on 82.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price just over $86 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today 20 basis points lower, just on 60.4 US cents. Against the Aussie, we're down similarly to 92.5 Australian cents. Against the euro, was softened 20 basis points too, to 55 euro cents. That all means our trade weighted index is now down to 69.1. Get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again on Monday.